Romeo Juliet, turn left, heading 150.
Left to 150, 150 Romeo Juliet.
Unit 1609, contact departure.
960 up, Lockheed.
974 Tango Whiskey, 160 3000, 140 on that.
Sorry, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Not sure why my camera is not working. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. There we go. I apologize for that. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Trying to get P3D working, and I don't know what's going on. It worked earlier. And now it says that something is running and it just wants to not open. So give me just a quick second here. I have had this issue before, and I literally just ran it this morning to make sure that it was good, and everything was good. And now it seems that it's wanting to crash. So I may not be able to stream like I wanted to, but we're going to try and fix this real quick. And hopefully you have a response to it not working. Yeah, I already assumed that was coming. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not wrong. So, all right, hopefully, let's see if we can get it up and running now. One of the biggest issues is I have a lot of add-ons for this. And so that's usually what ends up making it crash. But like I said, I just ran it this morning and it worked just fine. Loaded up. I think we're going to be good now. So once it comes up, then I can switch over to that and just kind of run through everything really quick. And we should be all set to go. Yep, there we go. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my live scene, see if we can get this to capture. Let's see if it'll, no, it doesn't want to show it. All right, let me add in a display. Nope, don't want to look at that. There we go. Okay, we're going to do that. Sorry for this. I had all this set up earlier this morning because I was planning to do a flight before golf, and it worked, and now I don't know why it's not. So, all right, we're going to get this going here. All right, so for today's flight, we are going to be Delta8939 flying a PMDG developed 737 800 NGXU for Delta Airlines. And pardon me while I scroll up here to select my aircraft. Got a lot of them. All right, here we go, right there. Flight number 8939. All right, and we're going to set that to the current time, day, and we're good there. Options, I need to select my scenery. I need to go to here. Don't need Chicago, don't need Mad Dog. flight Tampa. I don't need the Aerosoft. All right, I do need Phoenix. And so, Operative, are you familiar at all with any of the flight sim stuff? Anything related to flight sim, whether it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, P3D, X-Plane? I know they got a couple new ones coming out. So for me, I started off with I started off with Flight Simulator years and years ago, back when it was the original flight Microsoft Flight Simulator, and grew with it all through all of their various. Every like 2 years, they would come out with a new one, and then Flight Simulator X came out, and I did Flight Simulator X for a while, and then because Flight Simulator is only a 32-bit system or program, I ended up finding out about Prepar3d, and I switched over to Prepar3d. So it's quite a bit more than what the Microsoft Flight Simulator was. However, the graphics on it are a lot better. It's a 64-bit, so it's just a lot better to handle the quality of the graphics and everything. So I really like it, and I haven't switched simply because I have a lot of add-ons that I've purchased for P3D over the years, and just honestly over the past like 5 years, and they typically will maintain compatibility with the next version. So I had P3D version 3, and then I went up to V4, and I ended up having to buy a bunch of new stuff for V4. And then I'm now running V5, and V5, most of the stuff that I have has compatibility with the stuff that I purchased for V4. However, there are some things that do not have compatibility, and so I'm unable to use those in this, but I do still have my license for V4, so I can install it and run it that way and run everything. However, with having V5, I like the updates to it, so I'm okay with letting go of a few of the sceneries that I can't use as I don't really use them much anyway. I just like having a lot of different sceneries. But outside of that, I really don't mind, like I said, giving up some of the, foregoing some of those sceneries that are not compatible. So today we're going to be flying out of LA and over to Phoenix. And we are going to be using, it doesn't give me the ActiveSky. We're just going to go with clear skies. And I think we should be all set there. And I'm going to go ahead and hop into Sim. And really quick, so I'm going to hop over and change screens here for a minute. I just want to give you a quick idea of what I'm working with as far as my charts, and also what I use for my flight planning. So for flight planning, I use SimBrief, which is now owned by Navigraph. And Navigraph is a great company. I love running their live update. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put this in. Okay, so right there, it's going to regenerate that. So I love SimBrief. It used to not be owned by Navigraph, but they did work together, and then finally Navigraph ended up taking over SimBrief. And it's just a great way to be able to go on and have a free version of a flight planning software. Now, I do pay for Navigraph. I pay for the access to the charts. It's an annual fee, but I get the AirAC updates, which is when they make updates to like the NOTAMs and the charts and all that kind of stuff, the SID stars, the standard instrument departures, and the standard arrival charts. It also provides me with the charts itself, which I will pull up in a moment, but I'm going to go over to charts right now, and we'll see. So this is the flight sim, SimBrief flight sim. So I can go in here and create any of the flight stuff that I need as far as flight planning, and then I can download it, and I can download it for all of my different aircraft. And it's super easy to use. It's fully functional. It's absolutely great. I love using it. And then again, so the AirX cycle, current AirX cycle is 2401 2024. We're in that first cycle because of how the year runs. So it's the end of January through the middle of February is what this AirX cycle is good for. And then, so once I create my flight, here's this flight right here. I can view it. So I basically tell it everything that I want to do. So this is my flight number, call sign, where I'm departing from, where I'm going to, and sometimes it'll auto-populate, or I can put in my own alternate, the type of aircraft I'm flying, and then it'll tell me what my airtime is, my flight time, block time, cruising altitude. It'll recommend a cruising altitude. It'll do like an auto cargo, auto load sheet, so it'll automatically set a passenger count, and then it gives me my flight plan basically right here. So I'm departing from runway 24 left out of LAX, and I'm going to be following this this flight plan here. So I'm going to be doing the DOTS 2 standard instrument departure, or SID, and then flying direct to Blythe. So BLH is Blythe BOR, and then I'll be arriving into Phoenix on the Hydra 1 star, or standard arrival, into Phoenix runway 26. So runway 26 is a east-west runway. I also use my ActiveSky, so I have the ability to do a weather snapshot. And with that weather snapshot, I can load that snapshot into SimBrief into here, and it'll basically update everything based off of the current weather conditions, and it utilizes actual in real life weather conditions. So that is that, and then I can also I can download the flight plan there, and when I click download, I have SimBrief downloader, so that's a separate program through SimBrief and Navigraph that basically allows the download from SimBrief to go into specific folders for each of the aircraft, so that I can load it in the FMC when I'm doing my flights. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And I'm going to pull up my charts. So here's my chart. So this is just an overview of the flight, the different colors for the different portions of the flight. So the pink, fuchsia, whatever color you want to call it, that's the standard instrument departure. So I have certain things that I have to abide by on that as far as altitude, speed, so on and so forth. And then I have the flight time, just a regular flight in between scenery and Blythe. And then once I hit Blythe, I'll be entering my star, my standard arrival. And then from there all the way into Phoenix, and then my final, right before I get into Phoenix, my final path and everything, what I'll be doing when getting into there. So now with this, I can automatically import my flight from SimBrief directly into Navigraph charts, which is super awesome, makes everything a lot faster. And I can also choose my approach. I can choose the arrival if I want to change the arrival from what it was. And I do have that option in SimBrief as well. It usually gives you 4 or 5 options of how you want to depart and arrive. Then once I get all that stuff taken care of, I can go and open up specific pin boards or plates for like the airport. So this is, I'm going to hide that. So this is the airport chart overview for LAX, and then right here I'm going to click this little arrow, and that's basically just going to show you, it's a live map, so you can see right where my aircraft is parked here at this terminal right there. Okay, and this is great to use, especially when I'm on with my live ATC, and they give me directions for my taxiways to get to the runway that I'm taking off from. So I'm going to be taking off 24 left over here, so I'll be most likely taking Charlie Kilo, Echo most likely, and maybe Romeo or Echo 8, depending on what the ATC gives me. We don't always have ATC, so if ATC is not on for this area specifically, then I just run our Unicom and basically just call out what I'm doing. In the event there are other people that are simming at the airport at the same time, then they kind of know what's going on and they hear you. There's no crashes, no runway incursions, anything like that. So that's that. And then I can pop over really quick and show you my Departure, so this is my departure plate. And it's going to tell me, so if I'm taking off of runway 24 left, which I am, climb heading 251 to 640, and then climb direct across Delray, at or below 3,000, and then track on the 256 to cross any at or below 5,000, and on depicted route to cross dots at or above 15,000. So dots is way out here. This is an inset. So I have a ways to get to dots to get up to my 15,000. Typically, within a minute or two after departure, if I have ATC, they usually clear me all the way up to my altitude, my flight altitude, and I'm up at cruise altitude until it's time for me to hit the top of descent, and I begin my descent into Phoenix. Then once we get over there, we'll hop over onto our our standard arrival chart, and we'll be coming in from, I believe we'll be coming in from Judith. Yeah, I believe that's that one there. We'll be coming in, no, we'll be coming in from Blythe. So we're coming in to Skull, Swoon, and we'll be taking this path, Agla, Chavo, Limo, and then coming back around and landing on 26. 26 is the northern runway. Okay, and that is that. And then I also have my approach chart, and I actually have a better one. So my flight path will just direct me to Saroon, Zemos, Toter, Jagle, Prune, Delcy, and then we'll be landing. And then I have my airport chart as well, which will show me once I land. So here's runway 26, and being Delta, I'll most likely be parking over here on Terminal 4. Might even be Terminal 3. I want to say it's Terminal 4, American and Delta Terminal 4. So yeah, so we'll be over on this side. Southwest is on the south end of Terminal 4. All the C and D gates, so the A and B gates are Delta and American. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop into it, and I'm going to hop back over to our cockpit. All right, so now I have not done a flight in a long time. Everything is new. I haven't set anything up yet. So what I like to do is, let me pop up. Oh, I need to change that. Said I apologize. This is my very first stream since getting everything back together. So I do apologize. I'm trying to get everything set up. So I don't want to pause on task switch. That's the big thing that I don't want. Okay. I think we are good there. Alrighty. Yep, that's all I want. I hate when it pauses every time I task off, because I do use programs and stuff outside of the flight sim. So pull up my chase plane. Alright, there we go. Now you can see me. And you weren't able to see the alert box because my display was covering it. So I apologize. Operative, I'm assuming that was you. I'm going to be logging into ATC here momentarily. I need to get that pulled up. I'm just trying to get my aircraft set up real quick and make sure that all of my camera controls are working. Yeah, there we go. All right, so. So I don't know why my cameras are not working, but I like to go here, and so I like to set up my flights to where everything is basically off. The panel states everything it's cold and dark. And we start from scratch, going through all the load up stuff. I need to figure out why my cameras are not functioning properly. Like they work through Chase plane, but they're not working with my keypad setup, and I'm not sure why. So, oh, there it goes. Now it's working. Awesome. Cool. All right. So that's cooling down there. So we do have ground power already available and set up. So first thing we need to do, very first thing, is click on the battery and hit the emergency lights. So it makes it a bit brighter in here. And we have ground power, so we're going to go ahead and connect ground power so we can get everything set up and running. All right, and let's go to, we're going to make that steady. Oh, it was unsteady, okay. And turn anti-collision and wing lights on. Don't need logo. All right, next we are going to go up to our ADIRS and we're going to turn on our nav and get that all the way over there. All right, and that should be everything for up there. So my ILS is aligning my nav. So we're good there. Let me go to my number one button. That's the only one that's not working. Okay, why is my one button not working? Oh, it's set to 3. There we go, that's 3. Okay. Normally I have 1 set for that. But, okay. Okay. So we are going to get our ground services. I want to request a AC unit so everybody's not getting super hot here. Sorry, wife's texting me about dinner. Okay, so that's arriving. Go back here. Payload. So basically everything. Well, we're actually going to get into that. Let me go back to my FMC. So here it pulls up the aircraft and our current air rack. Everything is updated there. So we're going to go to our initial position. So our reference airport is going to be KLAX. And we'll click that. And our current position. It's sometimes the gates work, sometimes they don't. It's really iffy, but we'll just click on that. That'll copy that down there, and then we'll hit that in there, and then now everything is good there. And we're going to go to the route. So I am going to request flight plan. Flight number is DAL8939. Okay, there we go. So one thing that I really, really want, and it's very expensive, is I want an actual FMC, like a desktop FMC that I can utilize because it makes it a lot easier. Although people can't see what I'm doing necessarily, but do you get first class? Yes, operative, you get first class. Clear. I'm going to activate. Okay, execute. All right, so let me get back into adding in my. Delete. No, cancel. There we go. Okay, flight number and runway we are taking off of 24 left. Set that there. Execute and go to our preferences. So with the NGXU, usually I can just type in I'm going to go to 35,000. So anything above 18,000 is flight level, is how they consider, how they call it. So you would enter that in. What news do you have? It's your news. If you want to divulge it, by all means, you can divulge it. I will not hold you back. The news is, hopefully it's exciting news. I'm sure it is. I mean, it sounds like it is. Let me pull up my payload over here. You are a content creator now. Awesome. Very cool. It's a good feeling, isn't it? I love it. I mean, I'm still learning plenty of stuff. I'm definitely not the end all be all by any means. I love doing it, and I wish I had more time to do it because it's a lot of fun for me. I love doing it, and having the time to do it is pretty much the biggest issue. So having a family makes it a little bit difficult at times, but I do enjoy doing it when I have the time to do it, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Okay, so gross weight is 165.9, so we'll go ahead and enter that right here to our gross weight. Zero fuel weight is 119, which it copies right there. And our reserves, we have, let's see, 10. Cost index, I'm going to go with military helicopter. Okay, cool. They do have helos in this, and military aircraft. They have the F-22, F-18. You can download other aircraft, helicopters, and F-35, 16, 14, 15, pretty much whatever you can find on the internet. Some of it's payware, some of it's free. I've found a couple like C-17 freewares. Cost index, excuse me, cost index for 35. Excuse me. We're good there. Yeah, no, I love doing content creation. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to do 20. Okay, takeoff. I'm not going to mess with takeoff yet. I can do flaps. Flaps 5. That's going to adjust once I go back and do my depart arrive. So depart. We are on the dots 2 and 24 left. Execute. So that's pretty cool. You know, stuff just pretty much populates. It knows what you do as long as you have your AirAx updated, because the AirAx also affects the FMC. So it links to the charts. So in FSX, you actually were able to get an add-on that you could do that with. Although I actually used to be not very active because I was having a hard time learning it, and I was also doing my Twitch stuff with P3D, and I enjoyed this more. But DCS World, you can do that with as well. I was in a server with a guy that I used to work with, and I mean, it was a cool server, and I wish I had more time to do that as well as this. And I wish I was more in the understanding of how to do everything. But they did a full-on briefing, debriefing. I mean, it was pretty cool what they did, and I used to watch his streams all the time for when they would go out and do their missions and everything. It was really cool. So, but sorry, give me 1 second here. All right, so we are good at that. Got a route, takeoff. So I think we're good now. We can do this. So our center of gravity is 19.9. And let me make sure we have enough fuel. What is our fuel? Yeah, plenty of fuel. Okay. good there. All right, so the doors, I'm going to go ahead and open the left forward entry. And I'm going to go to the next page and open my cargo bay doors. And let me go ahead and get our APU turned on. I definitely will. I definitely will. I always enjoy watching other YouTube videos and stuff, so let me. No, it does that. All right, so we want to request boarding.
Requested.
It's going to be Delta. Default jetway. There's some sounds for you. And pull that up. And we'll request our catering service. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to your channel. If I'm not, I'll make sure to come over. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to your channel. So I should get the notifications.
Do you want to board crew?
I want to board everybody.
Pilot's boarding starting.
So I want to switch my view for this to outside spot. No, camera. Change view. There we go. Outside spot. Okay. Not a problem. So I just wanted to give a look outside. So I don't know why my LAX scenery is not loading in. Jetways are, just the scenery itself is not. But you can see I have my ground crew pulling up. We got the baggage guys ready to go. And the passengers should be starting to load here momentarily. You'll hear some giggling, laughing. That's the passengers getting on board. And then while they're doing that, just wanted to give a little quick look around the aircraft. I mean, I love the graphics and everything are just really spot on with the aircraft, even the jetways. Technically, I could go in and it's Alaska Airlines. So I'm in their area.
Your crew has boarded. Passengers boarding starting.
So there we go. So I love how it kind of talks to you and tells you what's going on. And here comes the guy with the bags. They're loading those on right now. So we'll let them do their job, and then I'll get a notification when catering shows up and I'll open up the doors. But what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and just get everything set up. So I'm going to get my APU going. And I'm going to put this to steady and strobe so that they know that I'm getting ready to do that. And I'm going to turn on my left aft fuel. And we're going to go ahead and crank our APU. So once that gets up and running, yeah. Oh, I do need to get my VATSIM going here. I'll give you a quick look at it. I'm going to take it off the screen, but that is my ATC right here. So I do have my flight plan already loaded in here. ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. And we're going to enter in our call sign. So DAL8939. And type is 738. Because we are a Boeing 737-800. And I don't need the cell-cal code. That's only required for aircraft that are flying over large bodies of water. So connect. So then once I connect, it will basically, it'll populate over on the side if we have anything. So we have Denver Center and Oakland Center. LA is not in any of those because LA has its own center. So I will, no, they do have departure. So let's see what his thing says. Usually it'll come up and it'll say yada yada yada. Sometimes they will just end up messaging you privately and saying, hey, this is your clearance, and they just do it via text instead of having to go through the whole rigmarole of calling in for your clearance. It's nice sometimes, but I do like, conversing with ATC and going through that whole thing, getting the clearance, requesting the clearance, getting the clearance, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and file my flight plan. I'm going to change that to 35,000 feet, because I don't even think this thing will make it up to 39,000 feet, to be completely honest. So we should be all set. Go ahead and file.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
And there's the beep that's waiting for me to open up my doors for catering. So we'll open up our forward and aft, and that triple beep is ATC. So there it is. So there is my clearance. So he gives me everything. Yeah, so I will call him, let's see. Departure frequency 124.3. Advise ATIS and squawk code on initial contact. Okay. So I will contact him when I'm ready to taxi out, pushback. So basically what it says, he's my call sign, my equipment, departing LAX, destination Phoenix. That is my flight, my route, altitude, flight level 350. My squawk code, which I will enter in here momentarily, is 2443. And then I'm cleared the dots to departure via scenery, treason, and then climb via the SID, and expect 5,000, accept maintain 5,000, expect 350 5 minutes after departure. That was like I was talking about. They usually give you a quick increase to your cruise level. And then my departure frequency will be 124.3, and then advise that I have my ATIS and the squawk code when I make contact. So I need to view the ATIS. I don't have ATIS messages, so it says requesting ATIS. So it didn't say what ATIS was. I'm not sure. So ATIS is basically the weather around the airport. So good there. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop this out of the window. So I'm just coming back on and off the whole time. Now I can go back in and close my entry door. That's for catering. I can pop out and show you the catering. So there's the catering trucks. I can close my baggage trucks as well, or my baggage doors. Let's see. Yeah, he retracted his. He's getting ready to go. So that guy's still doing his thing. So back in. Then we'll close the left forward door. Nope, maybe leave that open. My bad. We need to close our cargo doors. And then we can return. forward door. Go on the right side. So pop back out here. So yep, they're all set, and right entry forward. Yeah, it's closing, beeping at me. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and go turn on my APU generators, turn off ground power. So we are good there. I can turn my pitot probes on and turn our window heat on. Turn those on. And we'll add our fuel pumps. So we're all good there. Set that 35. Landing altitude is 11. Alright. So we should be all set there for right now until we get our engines up and running. Flight director on sides, auto throttle, so headings 251, initial heading once we take off. So set that. Good there. And we'll set some of this other stuff once we get up and running. Set my squawk code. 2443. There. Departure frequency was 124.3. Another thing I want is the comm box, so I can adjust that. And the comm is 122.8. So that is our backup. And then once I get my nav frequency, I can enter that in for when I am arriving into Phoenix. Let's see, what is the... Let's see what the ATIS frequency is for 135.65. So I have COM1 here and COM2 over there. Passenger boarding is what takes the longest. I swear, like getting a flight set up is like takes an hour to get the flight set up, and then another hour to get everybody boarded. Because the captain does not offer the food, it's the flight attendants. So you need to bug the flight attendants. And yeah, operative, so we should have live ATC if I get out of here in time, at least to get out of Phoenix. I did read what you said, because I said that the captain doesn't do that. You got to contact the flight attendant. They're running around somewhere. They should have offered it to you. I mean, I need my drink too. I haven't been offered yet, so. Yes, well, first class if it was real life, you would be offered as soon as you sat down, most likely. So here. So 156 is what we need our speed to be. Should be all set there. There's our ATIS. Sweet. Alright, I'll pull this back down since that ATIS is up. So here's our ATIS. So we are currently on information mic. ILS approaches in progress, 24 left, 25 left. Lower vector for visual. I don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. Yep, alright, so we have information mic. And unless that updates and I don't see it before we call in. So information mic is our ATIS, and we'll also give our SWAT code to verify that it is correct. Once we are ready to make contact, we'll saw these people freaking bored. So we also have an ATIS up top, so that's going to be different than what the ATIS is for the ATC, because the VATSIM usually puts out the ATIS on their own. They update the call signs for the ATIS, and they all use phonetic alphabet, so Alpha Bravo Mike. They just run through each update as it goes to the next letter. So when I call in, I'll basically say, is it LAX? Let's see. So LAX departure, Delta 8939 with information mic, squawking 2443, ready to push and start at this time, or request push and start at this time. The passenger loading, I think the passenger loading takes a little bit longer than it typically does in real life, depending on the size of the plane. For 737, usually whenever I go to like Southwest, it's, you know, they're pretty quick about it. Other airlines, you know, people have assigned seats, and so they board from the rear of the plane first. The longest part is people putting their bags up, but I do feel like this kind of takes a little bit of extra time in the sim for everybody to fully board and get the ding ding, and then everybody's good. And I can close the door and basically get ready to push and start and all that. But yeah, it does seem like it takes a little bit of extra time, more than it should. So while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and so it's telling me my altimeter's 202. I don't know if that's completely accurate. When I use the live weather, which it didn't, for some reason, it didn't want to connect to my ActiveSky, so I'm flying based off of whatever P3D is using, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, so if you look at the top corner of the screen, like right here, when the green bar flashes, it'll say, you know, passengers loaded, so many out of so many. It's kind of a quick flash, so unless you're actually like staring at it looking for it, there it is right there. So 110 out of 131 being loaded. So chase plane. And I want to so I'm going to back up a little bit so I can see a little bit more of the cockpit and my flight stuff. So there we go. So there's my altimeter right there, 2992. So I'm going to go back and I'll just save that. So that's how it'll be now when I click on it. So the total capacity, I can actually show you. To go over here. So let's go back over here to payload. So total I can carry is 160. So and I can adjust how many people I have. It just automatically put the 130 whatever on. So, but before I do my boarding, I can actually go in and set how many people I want. But it does seem like it takes a lot of time to load everybody. So, and I might actually need to cut the stream a little short and not necessarily make it to Phoenix. But it's taking longer than I wanted it to. But I did want to get a stream out. I wanted to get in this and get it going and start doing these more often. I miss doing these flights. I had so many issues with the simulator crashing on me for what I thought was too many add-ons. It ended up being an issue with my Windows. I had Windows 11 and there was some corrupted / missing files that even some of the like programs that you can use to find them and fix them weren't finding. So I ended up basically doing a complete wipe of my computer and reloaded Windows, and I went to Windows 10. And so far everything seems to be working out well. So we'll see how it goes when it comes time to utilizing my throttle motor, because it's not lit up. Usually it is when I'm in the stream. so I'm not sure why it's not lit up right now. I'm pretty sure it's plugged in, so we're about to find out here. But yeah, they need to hurry up and finish loading. 117. Let's see if we can. Services I can really screw up. I can release that. You need to go to the left. Charts. Yeah, so when I come out, I need to go to the left. And
Hi. Thank you.
flown like on a plane in real life, or flown a plane in real life. Okay, there we go. Boarding is complete. So now I can close that. I'm closing it. That's the one thing that irritates me about GSX is like it beeps like literally like every 3 seconds. It's like, give me a second to get over there. Like I get it. I need to go back and see what my trim needs to be. 593. Okay. Actually, let's see. Oh, the wheel's not working. I think my throttle might not be working. So you can kind of see the little, I don't know if you can see the little tab. Oh, my camera's blocking it. Sorry. So there's a little window that, a little marker that pops up and it shows what the trim is at. So I can set it. So it's at 5.94. So we're good. All right. So I think we are all set. I know what I need to do. I know why my thing is not working. That's one thing I should have remembered to check before I started. I don't think. Yeah, I don't even have. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. So, okay, right. I've never flown an actual plane before in my life, but I've flown on quite a few planes, so in my life. So, all right. So I don't actually have a throttle quadrant, so I'm going to be using my keybinds to take off. Look, I have my yoke and my rudder pedals, so we'll be good there. But okay, so we're going to go ahead and that works. Okay, that works. It's testing. That doesn't work. Okay, good there. All right. So we are all set. Let's go ahead and prepare for pushback. And there goes the jetway. So once the tug gets situated, they'll bring that back. There's the dude on the ground over there. You pull the wheel chocks. So there's the guy over there.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
There they go. So we go back into the cockpit and release the parking brakes.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Come on.
Locking gear.
So at this point, you basically just they give me instructions, so they're hooking up there, and this will pop up. So we want a nose left, tail right, because we want to pull out. So we need to remove the wheel chocks. So let's go to ground services and remove.
Release parking brakes, please.
And release the parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, so now we are good to start the engines. Okay, so we're going to watch our engine there. And I need to fix my cameras so that I can see. Tilt down more. Uh-oh. We're getting a crash. And we crashed. Okay. Well, I don't think it was the camera. I mean, it could have been the camera that caused it, but it definitely glitched on me. So, okay, well, that just means I'm going to have some stuff to work on. So I'm not sure why that did that. It's very frustrating, and hopefully I can figure that out and get that fixed, because it's very frustrating when it crashes, and I don't know why it wants to do that. So, operative, I'm sorry that you had to sit through all that just for that to happen. It's super frustrating. It's very frustrating for me, and I hate when it does that. And I have the capability, my computer has the capability to handle everything that I'm running. I was running all of this and a little bit more on a different PC with a lot less RAM and a slower game card, or not as high of a game card. I had a 2070 on my last PC, and I have a 4080 on this one, so the graphics are not an issue. I'm not sure what's causing that crash, but it is super irritating, and I definitely need to figure out why it's doing that. So I appreciate you hanging out with me for the last almost hour. Um, and I'll be fixing that so that I can come back and do some more flight. I want to do flight. I want to get a full flight in without any issues. And I don't even have a lot of stuff like installed because I can turn on and off sceneries and all that I'm not using to keep it from loading in and making it crash. So it might have been the chase plane that caused it to crash when I was adjusting the camera. So I need to go in and fix some of my camera settings. But if that was the issue, yeah, we'll figure that out. But I appreciate you coming out, and we'll try and get this stuff figured out for next time so that I can have an actual flight and go through everything. And I like going through everything start to finish, for especially for people that are new to flight sim or you've never done it. And they kind of get a better understanding of what I'm doing. Honestly, YouTube is what helped me kind of learn a lot of the stuff. Getting further into going through the cold startup process, setting everything up in the aircraft. It's fun, but it's very time consuming to set everything up and all the programs that I use anyways, with between Navigraph and VATSIM, the flight simulator itself, ActiveSky, the charting, on my websites. I also have a virtual airline that I fly with, but they just switched to a new website design, and I'm not really a fan of it. Delta Virtual, I'm not talking bad about it. I'm not talking bad about you guys. I'm just not a fan, but I'm hoping to see some more flights. I know you guys are still transferring everything over, so we'll give it some time. Your previous setup, the previous platform you guys used was great. I really loved it. Loved using it. It was super friendly, user friendly, very easy to get around. So hoping that this one can be just as good. The ACARS, I think, can use a lot of work. The ACARS is a lot different, and I didn't use it at all this time because I wasn't able to actually search for a flight and select it like I could before. So I need to learn how to do that on this new one. But yeah, so we're gonna figure out the issues with Flight Sim and hopefully get that going. I did attempt to try out Microsoft Flight Sim, and I wasn't really a fan of it as much as I thought it would be. The graphics are great, but I would have to go through and repurchase all the aircraft. You don't really get a whole lot with it, and it's a lot of money. All the Boeing aircraft that I have, they're all PMDG, and they're the 737. There's 3 different packs: the NGX, the NG, and then the NGXU. And each of those, I think it was close to $100. I think the expansion pack for the 737 was maybe like $80 or something like that. The 777 was 140 something bucks for the base pack, and then the expansion is like another 100 and something. And then same with the 747, you have the 400 series, and you have the expansion pack with the 800 with the 7478. And yeah, all of those are 100 and something bucks individually. So it adds up, and when you have it for one flight sim platform, it makes it really difficult to switch to another platform where you have to repurchase all of those because they can't cross over from one platform to another. So I can't take all of my P3D licensed aircraft that I have between my Aerosoft CRJ, my Airbus. I have the whole Airbus professional suite from the A318 to the A330. I have the CRJ. I have the McDonnell Douglas Super 80, the MD-80. I have the Quality Wings 757 and 787, and they're all purchased specifically for P3D. And I have the Embraer series, but the Embraer series that I have is only for P3D V4, so I can't use those on V5. I have the TFDI 717, which I get from ORBX, and I can use that on all the P3D stuff. But yeah, switching over to a completely different platform like X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Simulator, I would have to repurchase all that stuff, and to include all the scenery stuff that I have, which the sceneries are not too expensive on their own, but when you purchase a lot of them, like what I have, I mean, you're average, I'd say you probably average about $25 per scenery pack. Some a little less, some a little more. Sometimes you get deals if you purchased a scenery pack for a previous version. Like for me, I had some versions of P3D V4, and they didn't make it compatible for V5, but then they came out with an update specifically for V5, but you had to pay like 15 bucks, whatever, for the upgrade for compatibility. Some of them allow you to download they're compatible with both V4 and V5, and they don't charge you extra for it, which is nice. But again, all that stuff I would have to repurchase specifically for my Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I don't want to do. Maybe one day I'll become a millionaire, I'll buy everything. But until then, I got to limit the expense on that because I've spent a lot of money on my flight sim stuff, equipment, software, add-ons, you name it. So it's definitely an expensive hobby for sure. In DCS world, it's the same. You pay for add-ons and stuff. There are some freeware stuff that you can download for like P3D and some of the other flight sims, but you don't get the full use out of them, like the fully functional cockpits and all that kind of stuff. The graphics aren't necessarily as good, or you don't get a lot of repaints for them. So yeah, but I do appreciate you again, Operative, for hopping in and hanging out with me. I am sorry that the stream went to crap. I am going to look into that and get that fixed. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you know when I go live again, and I will try to hopefully go get all this figured out maybe over this weekend so I can do a flight next week. I was really excited about doing this flight today and getting everything going, and it still crashed. So we shall see. I actually think it might still end up being the GSX, which was the ground services, because that was causing an issue for me a while ago, prior to having the issue with the Windows files that were corrupted. So I'm wondering if there's still an issue with the GSX, and I may just need to unload that and maybe try to find something different to use for the ground crew and everything. But GSX is great. I love it. It's fully involved with the catering services, the fuel truck, passengers, the baggage guys, the jetways, all that kind of stuff. So, but all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So, Operative, you have a good rest of your day, your evening, and a good weekend. And we'll see you next week on a live stream. Hopefully, we'll get a couple in. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and y'all have a great weekend. Until next time, peace and love. Squint Gaming is out.